What's up, Periscope? It is Josh Banks here. I am the author of the book Jesus Others You, the Self-Centered Gospel. If you haven't seen that, here it is, what it looks like. Boom. Jesus Others You, the Self-Centered Gospel. We've been doing, just started doing this little series called Thoughts from the Bench. And so here I am back on the bench. Beautiful Austin, Texas. Been doing some thinking and wanted to talk for a little bit about a subject that I can relate to, and probably most of you can relate to as well. I'm going to talk about the subject or the process of forgiveness. If you're human, you've probably had an opportunity to be hurt by somebody or to hurt somebody. And I don't know, we all go through things that that affect us and change us and hurt us. And those things really impact our lives. And so when things happen to us, I remember being taught, you forgive people that do stuff to you, forgive people that do wrong things to you. And it's not that easy. Forgiving somebody is not an easy thing. And I've been just kind of reflecting on my life and some things that I've gone through, and the process of forgiveness is definitely something that takes some work. But let's clear up something real quick. Forgiveness is not a one-time event. Forgiveness is just that. It is a process. And so you'll have people that will do things to us and it'll hurt you or try to hurt you. And a lot of times it's not just one thing that happens. Sometimes it's a series of things that have happened to you repeatedly. And you don't get to a place of anger and offense all the time overnight. Sometimes you'll be in a situation to where, the first time something happened, it wasn't that big of a deal. The second time wasn't that big of a deal. But at some point, the things that are happening to you begin to affect you. And the person, doing the wrong against you, they begin to affect you on a deeper level. And so you don't get to that place of bitterness all at one time. And so what makes us think that we're going to get out of that place of anger and resentment all at one time? So I'll tell you a story. When I was in my teenage years, there was a situation that took place where a good friend of mine did something that that really affected me. He just hurt someone really, really close to me. And it wasn't something I would have ever expected to come from him, but it did. And so when I moved out of Austin and went to school, I had heard that I was gonna to see this friend that I hadn't seen in years, since he had really hurt me. And every thought that I had about dude was like, dude, as soon as I see him, I'm just going to kick his butt. I'm gonna beat him up. I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna do something to him, because the guy really he broke my trust. He really broke my confidence. He really hurt me. And so I remember being in Oklahoma. That's where I went to school. Rainbow. I remember being in Oklahoma, knowing that I was getting ready to come back to Austin. And I was anticipating seeing this person that had hurt me. I was anticipating seeing this person that had wronged me. And every thought I had about this person was, I am going to mess this guy up when I see him. And I thought to myself, that's not the way I want to be. I don't want to be the type of person that hurts other people. I don't want to be the type of person that is vengeful. And I felt like I had every right to do it. I mean, the guy had wronged me, and the guy had crossed some lines you just don't cross. And so I felt like justified. Whatever anger, whatever vengeance I was going to bring at this dude was deserved anger and deserved vengeance. But I noticed in my state of anger, I was being impacted and being changed by what I was feeling. And whether or not dude was even thinking about the situation, whether or not that other guy was being impacted by the situation, I was being impacted by the situation, and I was allowing the situation to impact me. And that's what happens when you have bitterness and unforgiveness. Like, the person that may have offended you they might not even know that they did it, or even if they do know that they did it, they might not even be thinking about it. And here you are allowing this situation to ruin and wreck your life, to ruin and wreck your day, because you're just so mad and you just can't believe what was going on. So here I am. I should be, excited because I'm getting ready to go back home and see friends and see family, and I just am like so angry, and I'm so bound up by this anger. And so I made a decision one day, is, you know what? Just for my own sanity, I'm going to forgive this person. And I did not want to. Now, let me clear something up. Forgiving somebody doesn't let them off the hook. It doesn't say that what they did was okay. It doesn't say that what they did isn't something that you shouldn't have been offended by, or something that you shouldn't have been hurt by. Forgiving somebody doesn't let them off the hook for what they did. But what forgiving someone will do is it releases you from the pain attached to, or the sickness or the corruption attached to the event. I was studying how they would punish people in Rome back in the days, and there was a certain punishment. If you killed somebody, they would strap the decaying body to your body and make you carry it around. And that's what forgiveness is a lot of times, is taking that deadness off of you and releasing yourself from the deadness. Like I said, when the Romans would take, you murdered somebody, the Romans would take that body and they'd strap it onto you. And every time you hold on to bitterness, that's what you're doing. You're taking something that's dead. You're taking something that's decaying. You're taking something that's lifeless, and you're literally strapping it onto your own body. You're carrying around dead weight. You're carrying around corruption. You're carrying around decay. And what would happen to the person carrying that dead body around is eventually the decay on the dead body would begin to decay the living body. The decay and the destruction that was on the corpse began to corrupt and destroy the body that was alive. And that's what happens when you carry on forgiveness and bitterness. Like, the thing, you're a living, healthy person, but then this sick, twisted situation happens to your life, and because you strap it onto yourself, guess what happens to you? It starts to corrupt you. It starts to make you angry and bitter, and it starts to make you not live anymore. You start to die on the inside, and then people can see that about you. People can tell, like, man, what's wrong with you? Like, you used to be a happy person, now you're angry. You used to be a joyful person, now you want to fight everybody all the time. Now you're angry all the time. What is it? A lot of times it's you won't let something go. You won't let something go, and you won't do the work to let something go. And so that thing that you're holding on to, it corrupts you. It begins to erode at who you are. It begins to erode at your body. It begins to erode at your emotions and your health and your mentality, your psyche. Man, that whole couple of months before I came back to Austin, man, people were asking, dude, Josh, what's wrong with you? You're angry, and your temper is really short. And what was happening is I was being corroded by that thing that I refused to let go of. And so what I had to do was I had to first make a decision to let it go. And not that I was going to forget what happened, but I was going to make the decision to not allow what happened to corrode and corrupt me. I was going to make the decision to not allow what happened make me a bitter person. I had to become a stronger person because of what happened. I had to become a stronger person to survive what happened. And that's what it takes to survive. It takes strength. It takes strength to survive things that happen to us. Anybody can allow their situations to literally dictate who they are going to be. You grew up in a bad family, you grew up with bad relationships, and so you're going to let that thing dictate who you're going to be for the rest of your life. You're going to let what you went through control the rest of your life. Now, I don't trust anybody, or now I don't want to talk to anybody, or I don't want to show love to anybody. Like, literally, you're going to allow that one thing that happened, or even if it was more than one thing, you're going to allow those couple of events that happened to literally decay and destroy the whole entire rest of your life. I mean, think of it as even worth it. Think of all the years of life you have to live, and how much of that are you going to literally dedicate to a hurt that happened? How much of that are you going to dedicate to a pain that happened? And the crazy part is, a lot of times we don't even think that that's what we're doing. We don't even think consciously that, oh yeah, I'm giving time to this hurt and pain. But subconsciously, you're giving all kinds of time to this hurt and this pain, because the things you go through, they end up totally just impacting and dictating your life. And so now you're an angry person. Now you're a hateful person. Now you're a spiteful person. Now you're the type of person that nobody can get close to me or nobody can touch me because you've given so much of yourself to a dead thing. So what I had to do was I first made the decision, I'm going to forgive this person. And when I first did that, it didn't feel like anything had changed. So here's what I decided I was going to do. I'm going to practice forgiving this person. That's what I decided I was going to do. I'm going to practice forgiving this person. And so what I decided was every time this person's name pops up in my head, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to tell myself out loud, I have chosen to forgive this person. That's the first thing I did. The second thing I did is I said, not only am I going to stop myself and tell myself out loud, I choose to forgive this person, I am going to pray that God blesses this person. And oh my God, that was the crazy part. Because the last thing I wanted God to do at all for that person was bless them. Oh no. That person deserved whatever they had coming to them, and I was hoping it was something bad. I was hoping that they would experience the same type of pain or a pain that was greater than or at least similar to the pain that they caused me to experience. I wanted them to get theirs. I mean, it's only right. I got a taste of something terrible and sour. They should get a taste of something terrible and sour. And it'd be even better if I'd be the one to give them that taste, right? But what was that making me? That was making me somebody I wasn't. I'm not a violent, angry, spiteful person, but now all of a sudden I'm thinking like I am. So what do I do? So I made the decision, and then I chose to bless that person. And I did this every day for 6 months. Every day for 6 months. The end result is when I saw that person, all those feelings of hate, gone. Gone. Didn't even make any sense. Gone. Now, it didn't change what they did. It didn't change the impact of the decisions that they made. But I was free from that whole thing. I was free from the whole thing. So I'll leave you with this. Forgiveness is a choice. You can either choose to continue to invest in things that produce life, or you can choose to invest in things that will take away from your own life. Practice forgiveness. Do it every day. Do it as many times as you have to. Do it every time you think about it. Do it when you don't feel like it. And it seems stupid, but at some point you'll realize something. You have taken that dead stuff and detached yourself from the deadness. You've detached yourself from the corruption. And now you get to live a life that's free. Cool? Yay. This has been Thoughts from the Bench, Session 3. I'm going to leave you with this. Josh Banks, author, Jesus, Others, You, Self-Centered Gospel. It's a Westbow Press publication. Check that out. Boom. We got the logo. You can get the book on my author page, Author Joshua Banks. It's on Facebook. You can get it off of Amazon.com. You can get it off of WestbowPress.com. Soon to be able to pick it up in a bookstore near you. But don't wait for the bookstore. Go get it right now. Jesus, Others, You, the Self-Centered Gospel by Joshua Banks. Thanks for tuning in. Like this, share it, send it to your friends. Forgiveness. Let's live free, productive lives. Let's quit letting ourselves get tied down to dead stuff. It don't work. It ain't good. All right. Love y'all. Bye. I'm really going to leave. Okay, now I'm out. This time for real. Bye-bye.